Welcome to day 203 of the 300 Movie Challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of April 2011, which was Fast 5.
Tara has to tell a joke first.
Yeah. Let's open up with this beautiful joke that has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah.
Because during this movie I had to read my history textbook. And I guess to give some clarification, the chapter that we're on right now is socialism and whatnot, so. A Frenchman, an Englishman, and a Soviet Russian are admiring a painting of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. The Frenchman says, "They must be French. They're naked and they're eating fruit." The Englishman says, "Clearly they're English. Observe how politely the woman is offering fruit to the man." The Russian replies, "No. They are Russian communists, of course. They have no house, nothing to wear, little to eat, and they think they are in paradise."
Sounds about right.
Basically, communism is bad.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
So,
Yeah.
there was that was the most entertaining part of this.
Yes.
I will
Which
say,
is really sad to say.
it is sad to say, but it was better than the last one.
I agree.
Yes.
It was more tolerable than the first Fast and Furious movie we saw.
Yeah.
There's one thing that confuses me, though,
Okay.
which is that so Fast 5 and like all the Fast and Furious movies are all about like when you walk into the movie theater and everything, you're expecting like high-speed chases, cars and everything and explosions, which I mean don't really appeal to us, but regardless, that's kind of what you go into these movies thinking and stuff, right? But there was actually very little car chases and everything in this movie. Like, there was the first one, which was actually just a callback to the ending of the last film. And then there was another one with the train. And then there was, like, I guess the end of the movie had, like, the longest bit of it, but it's still, like...
Well,
It's not as much as you would think.
so
Yeah.
I was looking at this on Wikipedia, and apparently, they specifically for this movie were like, let's kind of change some things up, and they actually came into this with a thought process of making it like a heist film.
Oh.
So that was like the thought process. So they did on purpose kind of do that, and the idea was
Okay.
that if they focus on that instead of just like car porn, then like more people will watch it. And I mean, they were right. It made more money. So
Yeah.
and you know, honestly, yeah, I prefer that. Honestly,
I also prefer that. I was just confused because I was like, wait, I thought people come into these movies expecting car chases
Yeah.
and stuff.
I think that's why this movie was better than the previous one. It at least had like some kind of plot that made some bit of sense.
yeah. Well, so here's
Yeah.
the main thing for me is that the other one was like, it was trying too hard to be like deep and cool.
And edgy.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
wasn't. It was just kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's just like, here's a heist movie.
Yeah.
Go.
So I can appreciate that more. At the
I
same
think we
time.
all can.
Yeah. And also like Vin Diesel's character like wasn't quite as obnoxious with this one as the last one in terms of his like I'm so cool. It was there a bit, but like not as bad. So
Yeah.
there's that. And then like a lot of the other characters they brought in, like they at least like had some personality, you know.
Yeah.
So that's something.
True.
Where they weren't just like, oh, it's that one dude that like appeared on screen for 2 minutes. It was like, oh, you could kind of like recognize characters and stuff.
Well, not just that, but like as like actual characters, they weren't like
Yeah.
super boring. I mean, again, they weren't like great, but they were okay at least, right?
Yeah.
And
It at least felt like they knew each other.
yeah,
And they could work together.
yeah, exactly. And like the group dynamic was actually not that bad. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
problem is that it kind of felt like I wasn't sure if we were supposed to necessarily know these people already or not. Like, or at least some of them we did. Like, you know.
Oh yeah, because it's like the fifth movie, but we missed
Yeah.
the first three.
Well, 'cause,
so-
like, I know-
Sure.
Well, like, okay, like Gal Gadot is back, so okay. But like, I know the Asian guy he was like in the third one, but like for example, the two black guys that are like friends with each other. I don't know if they were in the previous movies. It kind of seems like they might have been, but I don't know, right? So, so it's definitely better in that regard. And again, just the tone was a bit better. It did have some moments where it was kind of like a bit melodramatic, but it was more so like in the beginning, and then it kind of just went away from that. So
Yeah.
that's better. But I mean, overall, it's just I don't find this that engaging in terms. Again, the plot is okay. Characters are okay.
It was still kind of boring in a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like, are we supposed to feel for these characters?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Boring.
is-
There were some parts that are still dick flicky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, like, there was a part, like, probably, like, the second quarter of the movie. Because, like, the very beginning was, like, the train shit and that stuff, which was just ridiculous. But, and then probably at, like, the halfway point or so, that's when they really kind of got into the heist stuff. So that's that, like, second quarter, where it was, like, trying to have, serious character development. It was, like, it just kind of felt like I should care, but I don't.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think they were thinking like, oh, well, you've had like 4 movies to know these characters, but it's like, and I mean, part of it's, well, we haven't seen all those movies, but also even still, I'm like, from what I saw in the last movie, I don't care about these characters.
Yeah.
So, it's just whatever to me. Which again, I guess that's better than just like really obnoxiously pretentious, like the last one was, but.
Yeah, I'd take this any day.
But.
I also find it interesting that we're in South America again.
Oh yeah, literally in Rio, like again. So
Yep.
yeah,
We keep seeing Jesus all over the place.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because
So,
we saw him in the Dawn Treader.
oh my god.
Uh,
Well, actually, speaking of Jesus-like feats, physics in this movie.
I'm so angry about the bus.
No, the bus is the worst part of it. Okay, the two things are the worst part. The bus is the absolute worst because it's like you didn't even have to like nobody believes that makes any sense. Like, come on, you don't need to know physics, so it doesn't make any fucking sense. A small car hits a bus, and the bus flips over and tumbles. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. If two things collide, the bigger thing wins. Okay, that's how it works. And the only way it would somehow work otherwise is if the car was going. Okay. Here, this is all about conservation of momentum, which is actually what I'm teaching right now. But it's mass times velocity. Okay, so if the bus, let's say the bus is twice as massive as the car, which if anything, it's probably more than that, right?
Yeah.
That means the car would have to be going twice as fast as the bus, which it clearly was not for it to be more powerful. So, it's just ridiculous. So that was the worst thing. But the other problem was just the whole thing at the end where they're dragging the vault.
Yeah,
Because-
I don't think that would be as successful.
Right, so here's the thing. I get that, especially at the end, it's really, oh, it's empty, which, I mean, I guess it's filled with money anyway, so it's not very heavy. But I still feel like a giant metal crate is, pretty damn heavy, probably, right?
It'll definitely leave a mark if nothing else.
Right, well, so here's the thing. I'm even thinking, would a car even be able to pull that?
I don't know.
I don't
Because,
think, especially, I feel like it would have been more hilarious if they actually found a way to put wheels under the vault.
okay, so here's the thing. Something else that we kind of did recently in physics. So friction depends on the normal force and a coefficient of friction, which is basically depends on the material of the stuff that is touching. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But so the normal force, it's technically its own kind of thing, but in terms of, since everything was flat, it's basically just gravity. So again, it's how big the thing is, right? And
Yeah.
I could believe that the car and the vault are roughly the same mass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, especially if the vault's empty. Okay, I can believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But the coefficient of friction, it's, you know, a giant metal thing just flat out sitting on the road. Like, that should be a pretty damn big number instead of car tires. Like, I know car tires are supposed to have pretty big friction because so the cars don't slide, but, like, it's a car tires. You know what I mean? It doesn't... I don't know, that doesn't seem to make sense. And so then you get into crazy fucking situations where the thing's like tumbling around like into buildings and the cars just keeps on driving fine, and it's like, no, that wouldn't happen. So, like, I'm for like crazy, ridiculous stunts, but I want it to at least be possible, not like
within the realm of realism.
Yeah, like obviously something you could have shit like in Die Hard or whatever that like would, you know, no actual person would like want to do, but like it at least I never felt like, I mean, that said though, to be fair, we did watch Die Hard like almost I can count like 17 months ago. But you know, so I'm not remembering it that well, but I don't remember ever really being like, this is impossible to happen, really. So, well, no, wait, there was the one thing where, like, he was in, like, the pipe and the water was, like, going against him and he was, like, still hanging onto the ladder or whatever. So that was, but, like, that's the one thing I can think of, and, like, that's not a big deal, right? Yeah. The whole climax of the movie depends on moving this freaking vault thing, so that was, like, okay, whatever. So, just...
Not only that, but the vault is probably really thick of, like, steel and everything, because it's a vault. So it's made so that you can't necessarily just, like, take a pickaxe to it or anything.
Or, like, poke a hole in it, like tinfoil.
Yeah, so...
Like, can you imagine?
A tinfoil vault.
So, yeah, that... I mean, I don't know. To me, this is just kind of fluff. Like, I didn't, like, really hate it, I just didn't really care, and, like, some of the action's decent, and some of the character moments, like, I feel like are kinda nice, mostly with, like, the two black guys, because, again, I feel like they actually have some decent, like, delivery and lines and some actual chemistry with each other, but, oh, and I guess we should talk about The Rock.
Oh yeah,
his fake beard.
Yeah, his beard is like it looks like pasted on. It looks pretty bad.
It's so fake.
Yeah, and he's like, I was reading, you know, reviews and people were saying like, oh, he's like really good, and I'm like, I mean, he's
just
fine.
Stands there
yeah, he's fine,
talks.
but he's not like anything super interesting. So, I don't know.
He's probably going to reappear in the other films and stuff.
Yeah, so I've seen the 6th one and I know he's in it. I don't know what he does or anything like that, but
okay.
Yeah, I know he's in it. I remember he still has the beard, but anyway. So that's the thing. Is there anything else to really say? I don't think so.
No, it's just
Really?
regular action movie that's a bit dumb.
Yeah.
The only thing of appreciation is that it's giving South America some love.
Yeah.
Yeah, represent.
So that's something. It's better than the last one. Still not great, but...
Yeah, if I had to pick between the two, I'd easily watch this, like, twice.
Yeah. It's, I mean, again, it's not good. Like, I'd put this kind of near, like, Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah.
Kind of, which is, like... Just nah.
Standard action movie.
Yeah.
So it's something, I guess. What even is next? I don't even remember.
I don't know.
Hold on, let me open the thing. It's okay.
Oh no.
Oh wait, Tara, have you seen this?
I have seen this.
Okay, great.
Is this when things start to get downhill?
I mean, it kind of already started a little bit to get downhill.
Yeah, it did kind of start already.
So, well...
It'll be a little bit before we get to it. Guaranteed to be good movie.
It will be...
Oh, yeah, a couple. Oh, fuck, we have this soon. Oh, no. And the problem with this is that it's really long.
How long is it?
Almost 3 hours.
Oh, no.
I guess on that wonderful finish the
is
sentence.
so defeated.
I know. Yeah, it kind of okay. So this looking at 2011, kind of going forward, like there is stuff in here that I legitimately want to see, right? I
Yeah.
can think of like this, and this, because this is apparently good. But then we have and this too. But then yeah, we have kind of the next couple movies. I mean, we had some of the stuff we already seen, and we have this. So that's a big one in terms of oh no, we have to see a thing.
Is 2011 like low-key sucky?
So yeah, this is like, I'm just grateful that that movie, which is number 210, so that's what we're alluding to. It's the only one of that series we have to watch,
Yeah.
and you know what? It
least.
could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah,
So
Could
I'll
always be.
take it. But
they would have my perfect record.
yeah, well, me too. Okay. If I had to finally see High School Musical, then you get to finally see this too, okay? And then we all get to suffer
So,
later with the fanfiction.
Remember,
but
kids,
no.
communism is bad.
Yes, communism.
Yeah, don't be communist. It ruins lives.
Yeah, be
I'm not saying this as like Red Scare kind of thing. I'm saying this as someone who comes from a country that got invaded by communists. Don't endorse it.
yeah,
please.
just do go the Norway route, not the
Yeah.
not the Soviet motherland route.
Go be happy, and yeah, just be happy and good people.
You
That's
know,
all we need.
Finland is a
Yeah.
country ranks the happiest of all countries. Usually, it's like up there, right? And it has like some of the best education and all this really good stuff,
It's
right?
like
Oh yeah. Like
Denmark.
Finland, and Denmark.
Yeah, but so Finland is kind of generally one of the ones that's highest. And you know what else is true about Finland?
but
It has the most metal bands per capita.
oh,
I'm not saying anything,
adults are happy.
but I'm saying might be something true to that.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.